All right, so today, guys, I wanted to talk about how to get motivated. How to get motivated, especially when things go wrong and things aren't working right and it just falls apart. Like, how to get motivated to go after your dreams, to do your work, to do the things that you love. And I want to share a story of when I was driving in a van, in my minivan, off of tour. I think I just got off the road, and I don't know if I was exhausted, but I've been really pushing towards something, and it wasn't working that well. And it just wasn't. Like, and I was really trying to make things work. 'Cause it was the music industry. I was trying to be successful in my music, and I just gotten off tour. I hadn't seen my family in a long time, and I just wasn't feeling it. I was getting tired. I was getting exhausted. Maybe you feel that. You feel burnt out sometimes, and you're just like, man, like you hit a wall. You know, you hit a wall. And I was listening to this message by one of my mentors, my heroes, Peter J. Daniels, and he was sharing this story about, you know, the struggle and the fight. And he talked about like what is it that you really want? Like, what is that you're really trying to achieve with your life? What is that you really want? What is your dream? Because if you know your dream and you can paint a picture of the future and imagine where you could become, that motivates you to go after it. If you don't have a goal, if you don't have something that you're aiming for, it's very hard to know or to be motivated to go after it, because you don't know what you want. And a lot of that comes from just a lack of clarity. And when you don't know what you want, it's just like, well, of course you're not motivated, because you don't really have a goal. You don't have this tangible thing that's really in front of you. And I'll never forget him saying this to me. And I've said it so many times. I say it in my book, Fighter. You can trade your life for a big dream, a small dream, or no dream. But the cost is the same, and the cost is your life. And as I'm driving and I'm listening to him share and talk, he's like, what is it that you want? What is this mountain that you want? What is it you really want when you trade your life at the end? What is it that you want? He's like, is it just a better job? Just over broke? Is it just, money? Is it just something whatever? Or is it something big? Is it something life-changing? Something that is going to make a difference? And he even shared a story about Hitler, and how obviously he had this 12-year Reich, and I might not be totally quoting this right, but he basically had a plan that was so dark that would last for generations, last for years, and still the impact of that, gnarly man, that evil man, has still impacted us forever. Well, why can't we, take something positive and do something great in this world, and do something great with your life, a great dream that can last for generations, last for centuries, and impact this world, really be a world changer? And I, again, come from a very Christian background where we sing about changing the world and making a difference. And I remember pulling over the car and just being like, oh, I want to make a difference with my life. I want to do something. And I was motivated, but it's just like I felt like I hit this wall. Okay, I hit this wall. I just didn't know how to keep pushing because, things weren't working, and it wasn't working in the way I wanted. I just didn't know if I had enough energy to keep pushing a little bit more and push a little harder. And that's where I like to compare life to marathon runners, okay? And if you know me, I hate running. I don't like to run. And these marathon runners, dude, they run, and they're sweating, and their feet hurt, their bodies hurt, and they're exhausted, and they feel like fainting, and the sun's beating down on them, and all of a sudden they get that cramp. They get that cramp in their stomach, and they feel like they're just about to fall over, but they push just a little harder, and then all of a sudden they develop that second wind, and all of a sudden they're able to run harder and run faster than they ever have before. This internal motivation and freeness and recharge of spirit happens on them. And maybe today you need to push harder and develop that second wind of motivation. It's like you have been pushing, but you're tired, you're exhausted. Maybe somebody said no to you and said you couldn't do it. I like to say that, nobody ever says no. It's always just not yet. I've been told no so many times, failure so many times. Sorry, we're not going to sign you. Sorry, you're not good enough. Sorry, we chose somebody else. Oh, that position's already filled. I've heard it all, but I just didn't listen to it. I said, okay, I'll knock on another door. I'll make another phone call. I'll write another song. Oh, you didn't like that song? I'll write a better one. I'll write another one. And that's sometimes easier said than done. But if you want to flush that fear out of your life forever, if you want to get rid of it, and every time it keeps creeping back and you get scared, well, what if I fail again? What if it doesn't work out again? I've already tried again. How do I keep pushing through this? Well, when you do that what you're afraid to do, the death of fear is certain. The death of fear is guaranteed. When you keep showing up, and even though you're afraid, even though you're not feeling it, motivation doesn't mean you're always feeling it. Sometimes you just got to force yourself to feel it until you do start feeling it. I tell you guys, sometimes when I wake up in the morning, I'm not always feeling it. I wasn't feeling it yesterday, but sometimes I just got to turn it on. I'll sit in front of my computer or whatnot to go to write a song. It's just like there's nothing there. Okay, get up, go get another Starbucks. Try and pretend, go to watch Netflix. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to try. I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the work until inspiration hits. And that's the difference between amateurs and professionals in every area of life. Professionals show up even when they're not feeling it until they're feeling it, until they're motivated. And I just want to encourage you to keep pushing through. Maybe you're not feeling it today. Maybe you're not motivated today. Maybe you do need to go for a walk. Maybe you need to go for a run. Get those endorphins running and dream and say, God, what do you want me to trade my life for? What should I do? And do something, because it's a lot easier to steer a boat that's moving. You can steer it if it's moving, but if it's not moving, you can't steer. It's hard to move something. It's like, but at least if you're moving, okay, if you're moving, even if it's in the wrong direction, you're moving and you can change. You can pivot and you can come back right on course. So I want to encourage you, keep fighting for this thing. Don't give up. Don't relent. Don't give in to the fear, all right? Punch it in the face. If you haven't yet got my book, Fighter, 5 Keys to Conquering Fear and Reaching Your Dreams, I encourage you to get it. One of my favorite chapters in here is on perseverance, and it's pushing through the messy middle. I talk about courage, the willingness to just start, but then how do you keep persevering? And maybe some of you need a little bit of bump up of perseverance, I want to read you a quote here from the book, one of my favorites. I may have been in a dark place, but I wasn't a failure until I started blaming other people for my problems. Don't blame other people for your problems. Don't pass it off to somebody else. Take responsibility for it and just go for it. This book's free. Just go to fighterbook.net. Just pay the shipping and handling, and we'll ship this out to you. I don't ship them personally. If I did, I'd sign it for you. I can't sign up for you. But don't put the www. Just put https://fighterbook.net, and we'll send you a copy of this. I know it'll encourage you. I know it'll inspire you. If you really don't like reading, listen to it on iTunes or Apple Music. And I just want to encourage you. Have an awesome day. I want to remind you that a fighter isn't someone who never fails. A fighter is someone who never quits. Have an amazing, amazing day. Love y'all. Peace.